My name is Outsider2522 and welcome to another Idleon video. Today we're going to be looking at Obols. Let's talk about it. So if you're new to Idleon, you might be wondering what Obols are. They're stats. They're buffs. Okay? And they're going to improve your gameplay. Now before I say too much, please share, like and subscribe. It really helps the channel to grow. Now, Obols are a mechanic which new players won't see until they're about to face the first boss, Amarok. You'll stumble across the altar tower and you'll see a cat sitting on top of it. It'll tell you need an object called Bob Joe Pickle. Now you won't actually be able to get this object, this item, until World 2. The World 2 trader has it. You can pick it up. You go over to the Obol tower, you drop the pickle in front of it, the cat gets scared, and you unlock Obols. It's as simple as that. Now, how do you get Obols? The majority of Obols you will get from farming various enemies throughout the game. They're available in their cards. I'll also link you to the Obols wiki page to show you exactly where to get them. Basically, you're going to farm lots of animals. One of the main ones people aim for is Giga Frogs in World 1 because they drop pop Obols, which are great for drop rate. Crystal farming. Whilst crystal farming, you will come across many Obols. Really good way to farm them. And one of the things you'll need is fragments. Now, the way you get fragments is you take Obols you don't need and you basically break them down. The way I find this easiest to do this is World 1 crystal farming. The reason why World 1 works so far easy is because you kill so many enemies that crystal spawns so quick. You just get loads of drops, okay? You're also going to get statues while you're doing it at the same time. It's great. And from that you can farm hundreds of fragments, which you're going to need. You're going to need so many fragments to make your sets. It's unreal. So the earlier you start this grind, the better you're going to be. Okay, so you've unlocked Obols. We now know that you get them from various mobs throughout the game. What are the sets you want to look for? Now, there's kind of two different aspects to the game, really. You've got skilling and you've got fighting. Now, for your fighting set, you're definitely going to want drop rate Obols. How do you get these? Okay, we're going to focus on these a little bit because these are more important. So, as I said earlier, the main thing is you're going to get your bronze pop Obols from Giga Frogs. You need to upgrade them to silver. Okay, once they're at silver, I strongly recommend, and this was a tip given to me by an alliance member of mine, Jax, strongly recommend that you upgrade so you can re-roll stats on Obols. And what this does is the miscellaneous stats, so the stats underneath, say for example who has weapon power, you can't roll that, but any stat underneath that, so drop rate percentage, you can roll that. And at silver you can get plus 1% added to it, so your drop rate can go from I believe it's 6% up to 7%. Okay, the reason you want to do it at silver is because it's cheaper to do it at silver. Now you can get higher buffs if you do it at higher rankings, but the cost to re-roll it is substantially more expensive and the chance of getting it is relatively low, so it's a good idea to roll it at silver. So that's what you're going to get for all of your circles. You're going to aim for pop Obols, okay? And you're going to want two sets of these, one for personal, one for family. And the reason is you've then got someone who can actively play and farm drops much easier, and the family is going to help with all your players getting drops. Now, next you're going to have squares. This you're going to need the square luck Obol. Okay, and where that comes from is World 2 crystal farming. Now, you're going to need to farm a lot of these, okay, because we're going to use this Obol basically all the way up till the top. So, the square Obols are fine. You've now got gold. Your next one is your hexagon Obols. You're going to need to upgrade your square luck Obol to a hexagon luck Obol. The only way to do this is by farming fragments and getting two square golds, fusing them together, and hoping that you get the platinum version of it. Okay, this is why you're going to need a lot of fragments. Finally, for your sparkle zone, you're going to want the dementia version of the drop, of the luck one, okay? This is for a purely drop rate build. All right, you're going to want this for someone like your elemental sorcerer is definitely going to want this, okay? You're going to see more drops, per wormhole, huge buff. Right, really, really helpful for your Divine Knight as well when you're statue farming. So this is a really, really important Obol build to get. Okay, so the next important set we're going to look at is the skilling Obols. Now, generally these are found by doing the opposite skill. And what I mean by that is, if you're in World 1 and you're mining, you are likely to get the woodcutting Obol, which is another World 1 skill. This changes a little bit in World 3 where you get them from mobs, but generally speaking, it's the opposite of what you're doing will drop the Obol. So the way this works is for your circle ones, you're still going to get your silver version of that skilling Obol. Okay, you don't need to re-roll it on this because you don't have a miscellaneous stat. If you re-roll it, you might be able to get a higher base stat, which is also good, but you're not going to get that huge buff, which is the percentage, which is what you're looking for. Next, we're going to move to the square ones, which is gold. Again, you're going to use the gold skill Obol. So if you're mining, you're going to use a gold one, which means you've got to fuse together 2 bronze to make silver, 2 silver to make a gold, which means you need 4 bronze as a minimum to make a gold. Now remember, you can fail while fusing. Okay, so the interesting part is when you fuse from gold to platinum, it actually gains a miscellaneous percentage efficiency buff, which you would probably want to re-roll at this point. However, there is a boss, a spawnable boss in World 3 called the Dilapidated Mush. Spawns on the refrigerator station. Now, when you kill this, it has a chance to drop an Obol. This you can spawn, I think if you wait 7 days, you can spawn in 2 of them. So it's good to wait a week, spawn in 2 of them, get your drops from it. And with this Obol, 4% efficiency. Really, really good. Much better than the skilling ones, because the skilling ones have 2%, and with a reroll you can get to 3%, so you get an extra 1% base. Really, really good Obol, but you have to farm them, so they're a little bit more difficult to get hold of early game. You can also run the World 3 arena. The Dilapidated Mush spawns in at the end of it if you want to increase your chances and you've got spare tickets. So we get onto the Sparkle. Now the Sparkle is where things get a little bit interesting, because with the most recent update, Cattle Crook, we got a new Obol drop. And what this Obol drop does is it gives percentage of AFK gains. Now this is even better than efficiency in almost all cases. So what you're going to want is you're going to want to farm those Obols. Now to get 2 of those to attach to your skilling on a personal and a team setup is going to be really, really hard for new players. So what you might find for a new player is you're actually better aiming for the Dementia version of the skilling Obol. It's going to be expensive on fragments, but you're going to get there. You've got more chance of getting there at a lower level than you do necessarily the Cattle Crook Obol. So that's kind of what you're going to look to do. Now it means you're going to need a lot of Obol capacity, because you're going to have 2 sets of drop rate, potentially 2 sets of mining, 2 sets of wood cutting, 2 sets of catching, 2 sets of fishing, 2 sets of trapping. You know, that's a lot of Obols you're going to need. Each circle one, I believe, is 8 of them. Then you've got 4 squares, 2 hexagons. You're going to need a lot of Obol space. So be sure to buy Obol space once you start filling out your sets. That is really all you need to know about Obols. Farm 2 sets, re-roll where you can to get better stats, and you'll be great. The main benefit of having 2 sets is if you were to sample, say, mining, and you put it on personal and family, you're obviously going to get a much higher mining efficiency than if you just had personal. So it's really all about optimizing your gains. I should add here that the Obol from the Ice Guard event is actually better than the drop rate Obol in the square slot. However, because their drop rate is so low, it's a 1 in 60 drop chance, I believe, and you can only farm it once per day, so you're looking at maybe 120 days if you farmed only the Ice Guard and you got it on drop rate. You could go worse. I don't think it's reasonable to add that, but you know, it is out there. If you get lucky, you can always include that. Same as when it comes to the Hyper Obols, which you can buy for premium currency. There are things in there like the Hyper 6 Obol, which has a higher drop chance on a single circle. It's at 4%. You can do that, but again, you might get it, you might not. It depends on your luck, really. So they're kind of inconsistent. I wouldn't really include them as a must-have, but they're kind of like if you really, really want to max, that's where you're pushing towards the end. One final little note for you to add to it is there is a World 2 achievement called Golden Obols. Okay, now this is for wearing 15 golden square Obols. If you do this, you will get 20% more fragments when you destroy your Obols. This is really, really necessary because again, your fragment cost is going to skyrocket through the air. That's all I got for you today. If you found this video useful or informative in any way, please like, share and subscribe. It really helps the channel to grow. Until next time, you've been amazing. Take care.